Hi, Murray Robertson here. The headline in today's special edition of the Gisborne Herald, Gabrielle's Wrath, says it all. Today's edition going out to 22,000 homes in the district, and the main bullet points from the front page of today's paper: district devastated, but no lives lost. City water supply at critical level. Power restored, but internet still down. Major concern for isolated Wairoa. People advised to stay home, and the highways remain closed. Really is a special edition. Let's looking at the water supply situation first, and it is critical. Severe restrictions are in place after the main water supply pipeline into the city from Mangapuiki was damaged. The city supply is in a crisis situation, the council's describing it as, with the threat of the city taps running dry if people don't drastically reduce their water usage. In the words of Civil Defence Controller Ben Green, save water now or your taps will run dry. We have multiple breaks in the water pipeline supplying the city with severe damage to the main water treatment pipe. Our water supply is now assessed as critical, and we are dealing with this as a significant crisis. We need to use less than a quarter of the amount of water usually used on a daily basis in February. Otherwise, there is a real risk that the city will have no water, Mr Green said. The city water supply should only be used for drinking, food preparation and hygiene. Severe restrictions remain in place, meaning no outdoor use of the city's water. No reports of death or serious injury. Isn't that an absolute blessing from this cyclone? Tairāwhiti remains, of course, disconnected from the outside world today after being hammered by the strong winds. Hundreds of millimetres of rainfall reached record-breaking river levels. With a severed optic fibre cable and patchy power supply, the work on assessment of roads, bridges, properties and residential addresses continues. Tairāwhiti Civil Defence Controller, again Ben Green, says the priority is always around the safety of people. We are still yet to have a full oversight of the impact of the event, but to the best of our knowledge there have been no flood-related injuries or deaths. The roading network is awash with silt and significantly damaged in some parts. Contractors have been hindered by the closure of Tairāwhiti 2 and 35, but as soon as practical, they've been assessing the damage. Mr Green said, we ask that people stay off the roads, keep the roads clear for emergency services, and please don't drive around rubbernecking, and I have to say there's an enormous amount of that going on in Gisborne City, and I would point to the fuel issue for the city as well. We are cut off. There's only a certain limit on how much fuel there is. Don't burn it up just driving around having a look. Some supermarkets were expected to open today. However, that was to be controlled to ensure that there was enough for all. And Mr Green said they're working through data and power access issues. Please only buy what you need to ensure that there's enough for everyone while our retailers work to replenish their stores. Petrol stations are also hoping to open, and many have today, but they're prioritising fuel for emergency services. They are working to get roading access restored into the region, but at this point in time there's nothing clear around that. The Ministry of Education, on the advice of Civil Defence, recommended all schools, kura and early learning services on the reticulated water supply close due to the critical water situation, and that's to be reviewed on Monday. Chorus is traversing extremely tough terrain to identify where the breaks are in the fibre optic cable to restore internet access to the region. As of this morning, it was believed there were multiple breaks in the cable, and the priority was restoring the cable to the south. Until it was fixed, the region would have to continue with no FPOS or paywave facilities. ATMs will remain out of order, and there will be no internet or cell phone connectivity on some businesses, so some businesses were unable to operate. We hope to get some clarity around the IT situation either later today or first thing in the morning. When it comes to power, with some pockets throughout the region still without electricity, Eastland Network is prioritising to get as many households reconnected as quickly as possible. Crews were out and about today assessing the rest of the network to make plans for restoration, and approximately 200 people remain in civil defence welfare centres around the region. And police have given the region the thumbs up for the way everyone has pulled together so far through the impact of Cyclone Gabrielle. Area Police Commander Inspector Sam Abrahama said the public response and the response of all the emergency services had been great. We've been challenged with communications, Sam said, but everything has gone as well as it could be expected given the severity of the event. Closing this bulletin to you. I'll pay tribute myself and personally on behalf of the management of the Gisborne Herald to the staff of the newspaper for the way everyone has really pulled in together this morning to make this edition of the Herald a special one. 22,000 homes will receive a copy of this newspaper tonight, free of charge, to bring the district up to date with what exactly has happened with Cyclone Gabrielle and how the recovery is going. I'm proud to be working in this newspaper today. I'm Murray Robertson for the Gisborne Herald.